it go bad forever. There's really no way to stay where you want to stay. It just kind of happens. It did seem like they woke up, though, towards the beginning of the fourth quarter where Stafford just went off, 3 touchdowns in the second half, 4 on the day.
They're good enough, or they've got enough talent on their team to be able to snap out of this next week when it matters. Be like, no, we're the Rams, let's go. Because we've seen this team be the best team in the NFL to a point where we were asking what team actually comes close to the Rams. Not what team is as good or better than the Rams. What team can compete with the Rams when they're clicking like this? And we saw that for about 6 straight weeks. And now it's just gone. It's disappeared. They're good enough to snap out of it, but you just don't want to see it with the playoffs around the corner.
Look, you'd much rather be the number 1 seed, not have to leave the state of California. The Super Bowl is at Levi Stadium up in Santa Clara later. But if that is not going to be your path to the number 1 seed, to have the bye, to get healthy, the path that they're on may be the best one. That they're the 5th seed, that they get to go to Carolina, which, and you look at the rest of the NFC playoff teams, you're talking Seattle, Green Bay, Chicago, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Carolina is clearly the softest mark of that group. Doesn't mean that they're going to just go in there and blow them out, but if you had to go on the road and play against somebody, Carolina is the place that you'd want to be.
It's picking the lesser evil, and even though you've lost to this team on the road already, the very predicament you're signing up for, I don't think that you're going to throw these teams at the board and hope Philly sticks or the Seahawks or the 49ers or even the Bears. Even though the Bears have lost 2 in a row, out of all the teams, I said in the pregame show, I think the Rams got blessed falling into that 5th seed spot and getting the Panthers or the Bucs and now the Panthers.
Morales, you are a panicker. You like to get a little worried right out of the chute. We talked about this many, many times. At what point were you like, are they going to beat the Arizona Cardinals today?
Halftime, I was scared. I was really scared that, A, they weren't going to cover for purposes of our entertaining picks against the spread, but also that they were actually going to lose this game, lose 3 straight to end the season. By the way, Sue, you're just sweeping around, the Panthers was a loss. That was the first game of the season where this team that we were talking about being the best team in the NFL got straight up beat. Yeah. And Matthew Stafford didn't look like Matthew Stafford that game. That's how you're going to start the playoffs? I don't know. A part of me, Trav, wants to get Philly or Chicago out of the way.
I hear the point, and I understand the point, but I just don't agree with the point because Carolina is not as good as Philadelphia. Carolina is not as good as the Chicago Bears. Carolina will not be as cold as Philadelphia. Carolina will not be as cold as Chicago. And you're right. They did go in there. They did not play a good game against the Panthers the first time.
They looked lost.
But Matthew Stafford had his second worst game of the season. We saw his worst game of the season against Atlanta, but I don't think he's going to have a repeat performance against that group like that.
How the Rams played today, they could go to Carolina and find a way to win with how they played today.
Even with the way they played in the first half?
Even with how they played today, they can find a way to win against Carolina. They cannot play how they played today against the Niners, the Bears, the Seahawks, or the Eagles and think that they would win that game. That would be an immediate end of your season, round 1.
It was a very un-Rams-like first half and really kind of 2.5 quarters because it wasn't just that they weren't playing well. They were playing sloppy. There were penalties, and there were penalties
like drops.
Like procedure penalties. There were drops. There were holding penalties on big plays. We saw a 50-yard thereabouts play from Puka Nacua get erased at that point. We saw them just never be able to seize on the opening drive of the game. Arizona fumbles the ball in the red zone, and the Rams go 3 and out. They kick a field goal, but that felt like, okay, here we go. They're going to win this game 49-0. Matthew Stafford will be out of the game by halftime. This was a game well into the fourth quarter.
When they settled for 3 on that sack fumble, you got the ball on like the 25-yard line. You couldn't pick up 9 yards. You couldn't pick up 9 yards from there, and they settled for 3. In my mind, I thought, well, this might be a ugly game. This might be a little bit of an ugly game.
They've been the least penalized team all season. And the last 3 games, that's not been the case, as well as they had more drops in the past 3 games than they've had all season previous.
How many penalties do you guys think they had today? It's way less than you think.
4.
It was 4.
Really?
And they were all 5-yard penalties. They were all little ticky-tacky.
But they're not a highly penalized team.
I agree with you, but I think it was more all of us, I'll throw myself in there, going into this game, having seen the way they'd looked in the previous 2, like, hey, they're going to be okay, right? And they didn't look okay right out of the chute. So those penalties felt bigger. Those drops felt bigger because once they got going again, and I get it, that it's the NFL, but Arizona's lousy.
Yeah, they're bad.
Arizona had checked out weeks ago, and that they couldn't put them away for as long as they did felt peculiar.
I think the key is getting those tight ends in the game because I think once the tight ends started to catch some balls during the game was when the offense really opened up.
I think these people are big fans of yours, Travis.
How you guys doing? Good to see you, fellas. Say that again? Ernie.
I don't know about Ernie.
I'm not Ernie.
Now, listen, oftentimes at Hollywood Park Casino, we put fans on the air. Today, I'm not feeling it.
Why not?
Those gentlemen.
Did they think that you were Ernie Johnson?
But
I'll take
also,
it.
it's a cloudy, rainy day, and there's not a lot of energy with the Cardinals team. You know what I mean? Just doesn't feel like when we were last here playing the Lions.
Of all the teams that we've seen come through SoFi Stadium over the last several years.
By the way, you think those Raider fans walking in know that they have the first draft pick?
I'm sure they do.
First time since they drafted Jamarcus Russell.
How'd that work out?
They think they're going to the Super Bowl next year. That's what makes Raider fans so special, is they always think that everything's about one draft away.
They do have $100 million in cap space and 10 draft picks.
Who's their GM?
Tom Brady, really?
Exactly.
Look, no matter what the Raiders do, the Raiders will find a way to do it. So let's look. Here are your NFC playoff matchups right now. We don't know who's playing on which day, but this is who is playing. The Seattle Seahawks get a bye in the NFC. Green Bay at Chicago, so you get a little division action right there. Chicago, like you said, Sue, has dropped a couple in a row. Today felt like one of those games that I don't know how much they really had their foot on the gas here, but Green Bay has been through this before. Chicago has not.
No. Chicago is going to learn that playoff football is much different than regular season, and I'm hoping Caleb's up for the task. I'm hoping Ben Johnson actually does make a run in his first year, because it'll be a shift in power dynamic in that division, because we're so used to just assuming Packers and then everybody else. Whoever, either Vikings are going to be sick. This might be the Bears division moving forward.
Packers are the big brother. Packers are going to go in Chicago and hurt all those Chicago fans' hearts. They just played, 3 weeks ago?
They split this year, right? They went 1-1?
And that was Caleb Williams had a miracle play to end the game. I think the Packers are going to win this game.
The first time they played, it was a miracle game-winning interception for the Packers to win, and then Caleb returns the favor with a game-winning touchdown drive the second time they played.
I would guess this is Sunday night.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Those division games are always weird, right? Like, I'm sure if the Rams have to play Seattle or if they have to play San Francisco again, that's one of those, all right, here we go again. Because you know my moves, I know yours, and it's just one of those, whoever makes one or two plays in those games or everything. I don't know if anybody goes in there thinking they've got a great chance, but I don't think anybody goes into that game thinking, I have no chance either. That feels
Packers
like
own
incredibly even.
Soldier Field, though. Ever since they've passed,
this is why it might be a changing of the guard.
It happens.
If they beat the Packers in that first round, and Caleb finds a way to have a day, it might be the Bears division.
All right, so that's one of the playoff games that we'll get. We'll talk about some of the other ones, plus we'll continue to talk about what we saw today and what we might see in Carolina coming up next weekend. That is the Rams opponent. Rams on the road taking on the Panthers, the champions of the NFC South. That's all coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Change is in the air at LAX. Los Angeles International Airport's automated people mover trains are rolling soon as part of LAX's ongoing investments in improving your travel journey. The new trains will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, and economy parking in 10 minutes or less. Departing every 2 minutes, they'll help approximately 30 million passengers per year. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN. That's lawa.org/ESPN.
It's another exciting game day for Rams fans, and on game days, it's all about more. More action, more noise, and more savings. That's right, Rams fans save up to 35 cents per gallon on game days with a fuel rewards program from Shell. That means you can keep your tailgates going all season long. So don't drop the ball on saving more at the pump. Download the app, join the fuel rewards program, and take your savings all the way to the end zone. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.fuelrewards.com/Rams for full offer details.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Los Angeles, your Rams have clinched a playoff spot. And if you missed out on any action this season, don't make the same mistake. Clinch your spot in the Rams house for the 2026 campaign. Watch every home game next year with marquee matchups against the Chiefs, Cowboys, Niners, Giants, and more. And in addition, enjoy home playoff ticket access for this season, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event presale access. Visit therams.com/2026. That is therams.com/2026. And don't miss out on any of next year's action. Get your Rams season tickets today.
Hey, it's me, your heart valve. The blood flowy thing in your heart. Ooh, hear that? The whole stadium's cheering for heart valve screenings? Detecting heart valve disease is super important, especially if you're over 65. It's deadly if you don't treat it. That's right. Bo! Heart valve disease! Bo! Good news is, early detection saves lives. Go to listentoyourvalves.com and get screened for heart valve disease. Oh, and go Rams!
Game day means food, friends, and your LA Rams. Don't stress over the spread. Let Vons or Albertsons be your personal game day coach. Our deli is loaded with touchdown-worthy eats. From crispy golden fried chicken to wings and sandwiches, we've got you covered. Craving chips and guacamole? We've got that too. Order online and pick up your game day feast for free when you spend $30 or more. It's easy, it's convenient, and it's the winning play for your party. Albertsons and Vons, official grocery partner of the Los Angeles Rams.
Hi, this is Steve Avila of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams Cardinals Week 18 NFL Sunday from SoFi Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Now live from Hollywood Park Casino, back to Travis and Sua right now.
Here it comes. And goal. Play fake. Stand up to throw. Shoot it right side. Touchdown LA. Colby Parkinson calls game. Give Matthew his MVP. A 4-touchdown closing statement for the 37-year-old in his 17th season. The Rams are in the clear. They'll be the 5 seed going to Carolina next week. That is your Rams call of the game, presented to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789, 800-345-6789. So Stafford's MVP candidacy took a little bit of a backward step a week ago, Monday Night Football. 3 interceptions, a loss to an Atlanta team on a primetime game where everybody's watching. Today, a little bit of a slow start, but he finishes with 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He finishes with 259 yards, a quarterback rating 114.5. He completes 25 of 40 throws. Did he win the MVP?
I don't.
You think they go for May?
I don't think they go for May. I just don't know if Stafford has locked it up. If you 2-3 weeks ago, I'd say it's Stafford's to lose. If he just didn't put that Atlanta game together, I'd say it's over with. We're just waiting for Stafford to get the trophy. Now it's, I think they were going to have to, I know they say it doesn't matter, but I think we're going to have to see how these teams do in the postseason.
Morales?
2 tweets I want to read. First is from Rams president Kevin Demoff. He tweeted out, toughest schedule of any playoff team, #1 offense in the NFL, 46 touchdowns, MVP with the check mark. Then our friend Arash Markazi, who covers LA sports and has been for years, has been sending this tweet out quite a lot the last few weeks. Something happened to this Rams team with about 8 minutes left in Seattle on December 18th, and they simply have not been the same team since. The last time we sat here at HBC doing this show, 14-3 seemed like could happen. Matthew Stafford being the MVP was a given. This being the best team in the NFC, having that bye week seemed like it was a given. And that has all changed. So I ask you, Travis.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford gets the MVP, but they lose. This Rams team loses to Carolina next week in the wild card, which, by the way, producer Emily made this point before we came on the air. The worst 2 losses of the season for the Rams have been against NFC South opponents.
Yes.
Carolina and Atlanta. Does it matter if Matthew Stafford gets the MVP, but they lose to Carolina next week?
Matters to Matthew Stafford.
But does it really matter?
Yeah, it matters to Matthew Stafford. It matters for his Hall of Fame candidacy. Does it matter for the conclusion of the season? No. They will take a long time for that to fade into the background, that you were an early exit in the playoffs, that you had that first seed kind of in your back pocket with 3 weeks to go and you let it get away. That will take a while to go away. But this is one of the great quarterbacks of his generation that has just one thing or another short of being a deadlock cinch Hall of Famer, right? He's got the Super Bowl, but he missed the first, 10 years of his career being on a bad team, not going to the playoffs very often. If he goes to a Super Bowl, wins an MVP, puts up record-breaking numbers. He passed Matt Ryan today on the all-time completions list. He's 6. He's going to catch Aaron Rodgers next year, assuming that Rodgers doesn't play.
I want to say either tied or past Dan Marino.
He's checking off all these accomplishments. I think it matters to him a great deal. I don't think he would ever say it like I just said it, but I think it matters. Winning the MVP is a big deal, even if the team doesn't have the ultimate success.
He would taint his MVP season, though, if they got bounced in the first round.
So, Sua, you know how all in I've been. I'm wearing a Rams chain. 14-3. I said it to Rams general manager Leslie.
I was waiting. I knew that was going to come.
The Rams chain?
No, you told Leslie. He called you a very confident young man.
This is heartbreaking. What's happened the last several weeks of this team. I think you are Walrus and Encino's here. Walrus. Now we are putting somebody on the air here live for the people. Walrus is going to be on the air next segment, but it's heartbreaking. This team is crawling into the playoffs and not in a good way. You can't tell me beating the Arizona Cardinals in Week 18 is some sort of accomplishment.
It's not. However, had they finished the game today the way that the game went for 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters, I would be 100% on your side. I like that they got hot at the end. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe they go to Carolina and they look like the team that they look like today for the first 2.5 quarters, and we're sitting here and having a conversation about how they went from the top seed to out in the first round against a Carolina team that they should have beaten, that they lost to twice, and we're having a totally different conversation. But Matthew Stafford, if I would have told you at the end of the day, they won 37-20, threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they won going away, do you feel bad about that?
No, but we shouldn't be in this situation. As you're talking about the playoff picture and that the Seattle Seahawks are the number 1 seed, it breaks my heart. That should have been the Rams. And something happened, to Arash Marcose's point. Something happened on December 18th that the cloud is still covering it.
Devontae Adams got hurt. Kevin Dotson got hurt. Alaric Jackson got hurt. Quentin Lake got hurt. Tyler Higbee got hurt.
They had some questionable referee calls.
All of those guys, hopefully all of those guys.
So you're going to make me feel better?
I'm trying to. I'm telling you.
Here's another thing to make you feel better. Those 2 losses they had to the Seahawks and the Falcons are by a combined 4 points. 1 point to the Seahawks, 3 points to the Falcons, and they nearly tied that game to the Falcons.
That 2-point conversion where it was blown dead, thrown back, however you want to do that. That's one of the weirdest plays you're going to see. This is not a team that was getting waxed up and down the field. They had the Carolina one is the one that makes you go, ugh.
Yeah.
That was a very
the Carolina and Falcons are 2 bad Matthew Stafford games.
I think the Falcons loss is a slightly easier one to understand. They were so, for lack of a better word, hungover from what happened in Seattle that game really didn't matter as far as where they were ultimately going to end up.
And they played a coach who knew them very well in Raheem Morris.
All of those things were kind of added up, and they still almost won that game. The Carolina one was, what the heck's going on in this game?
Those 2 fourth-down conversions that the Panthers had for touchdowns are huge, and then all of those interceptions by Matthew Stafford. But I want to make a point. Like there's some things rolling around about the comparisons between Drake May and Matthew Stafford, and they're probably going to be the 2 MVP candidates. One of them, people are throwing around that the Rams have better receivers than the Patriots do, which they do. The Rams have better receivers than the Patriots. They have Puka Nacua and they had Devontae Adams. What was Devontae Adams doing last year?
Right.
Wallowing away.
Right.
Puka Nacua is only Puka Nacua because of Matthew Stafford. If Puka Nacua ended up even on the Packers, he wouldn't be who he is today. I think they're only this good because Matthew Stafford is throwing them the ball. So I think, honestly, that's a point in Matthew Stafford's favor.
I agree.
Another point is that, the Rams, you don't pick who you play. But the Rams played every great defense in the NFL besides maybe the Broncos. And they beat most of them. They beat Seahawks one time, lost one time. And they put up a ton of points against the Seahawks both times. Look at the game over the weekend, yesterday, with the Seahawks and the 49ers. 13-3.
Yeah.
And the 49ers are a very good team. So it's going to be a difficult MVP decision for sure.
I think that, it's going to tip it in Stafford's favor. I think it's a better story.
Legacy.
It is a better story. Drake May is in his 2nd year in the league.
He'll have more time.
Stafford is in his 17th season in the league. And I know that, you look at the numbers. You look at touchdowns. You look at Matthew Stafford. You look at wins. It's neck and neck. You look at complete. All of the numbers are either in Stafford's favor or everything else is really, really close. The better story is a guy that's 37 years old in his 17th season in the league, who's never even been an all-pro, winning an MVP for the first time. I know that nothing's guaranteed moving forward, but Drake May is going to have a lot of bites at this thing along the way. This is Stafford's last great bite at something like that.
But they are a 5 seed, and the Patriots are a 2 seed.
It's tough. That is again, but context matters. You're right. The Rams are a 5 seed, but they're 12-5. They have the best record against winning teams out of anybody in the league. You look at what New England has done. They've played 2 good teams. They've played two good teams.
Above 500 teams.
Right. And that's what I mean. And so the level of competition is different, and the Matthew Stafford story might be the difference to get in or not.
You think Myles Garrett has a chance at it at all?
Not a chance. 0.0%
Christian
chance.
McCaffrey has a better chance.
He's on a last-place team, and he's a defensive player. That's it. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, it's kind of tough for a defensive player to even get considered for it. You can break records. It's just not an award they're going to give a defender.
When Saquon Barkley did not win it last year,
it's a quarterback award.
It is, for all intents and purposes, a quarterback-exclusive award. Because if you're going to give it to somebody that was not a quarterback last year, was the year to do it. Last time the guy that did it was Adrian Peterson 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's when running backs were more important than they are now.
They are a little less important right now. The Rams played against every good running back in the league, too. You mentioned all the defenses. They've played against all those running backs as well. We'll talk about some of these other playoff matchups. The field is set. -1, the Steelers and the Ravens, which is going to kick off in about a half an hour from right now. That'll decide the final playoff spot. We'll get into all of those matchups. The Rams, they beat the Cardinals 37-20. It's coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Choosing a reliable Toyota is a smart move. Toyota Care makes it even smarter with no-cost maintenance for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. You're covered for all normal factory scheduled services like oil changes and tire rotations, even 24/7 roadside assistance. Toyota Care. It's extra peace of mind that comes standard on every new Toyota. Valid only in the continental U.S. and Alaska. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, Saturday, March 7th. Tickets on sale now at fantasyspringsresort.com.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information, visit talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Hello, this is Puka Nacua of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Recapping everything that went down this afternoon from the Palace in Inglewood. Week 18 and the regular season is a final.
And live today from Hollywood Park Casino, Park Party and Play. We react right now with Travis and Sua, the Rams postgame show. Your reaction at 877-710-ESPN.
You're listening to the Rams postgame show.
This is the Rams postgame show. Now live from Hollywood Park Casino. Back to Travis and Sua right now.
Rams beat the Cardinals 37-20 in Week 18 of the regular season. Up next, the wild card playoff round in Charlotte against the Carolina Panthers. We'll find out which day they play. It could be Saturday, Sunday, and of course there is now a Monday night playoff game that the Rams have played in before. In fact, they played in that Monday night game the year that they ended up winning the Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium. As you just heard, we're here at Hollywood Park Casino doing our postgame show with none other than Chris Morales, who said he was not, but now he is with the people. What do you got, Morales?
So here's the thing, Trav. You know, most of the time at HPC, part of my act, part of the fun I have is antagonizing fans of the other team.
Yes.
Like the scumbag Lions fans and those gutless Niners apologists. But today, not a lot of Cardinals fans walking around.
I don't think
Week
there's
18,
such a thing.
Yeah, there's probably not such a thing. So our friend, great P1 listener of our flagship here in Los Angeles, ESPN LA, the great Walrus in Encino. And Walrus, when you came up to us today, you said, did Matthew Stafford do enough to get the MVP? So did he?
I think he did. I walked into that game thinking if he could throw 4 touchdowns without any picks, and did he throw a pick today? I don't think
No picks.
I think he earned himself the MVP. Those are incredible numbers that he has. And toughest division in football, right? I mean, you got what? 14-3 Seattle, right? 13-4 the Niners wrapped up with, and 12-5. That's all in one division?
That's good knowledge, Walrus.
I mean, come on.
Right? One other thing I want you to do real quick. I want you to go, oh, Sua.
No, don't do it. No.
Oh, Sua.
God.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That was good, right?
That's not too bad.
There we go.
I
Thank you,
think
Walrus.
his point about him getting through the best division in football, I think, is a very good one. Seattle finishes number 1 seed, 14-3. The Rams finish the season at 12-5. The Niners finish at 12-5. You have 3 12 or better win teams in the same division. That I get it. A second-place team is not as prestigious as a first-place team, but this is not your typical second-place team. This is a 12-win team that beat the number 1 seed in the entire conference one time. They only had 3 losses, and the Rams gave them one of their losses.
The top 3 teams in this division would win almost every other division's title. So if you're trying to put perspective or context to it, the Rams are in 3rd place in the best division.
Second place.
Second place in the best division in football, with teams that have 2 or 3 more wins than your division winner.
Yeah, no, they've put together a very, very good season. It ended weird. I'm not here to argue that it didn't end in a very bizarre. That loss to Seattle was weird and disappointing. The loss to Atlanta, throw your hands up and go try to figure that one out. But they got it right today, 37-20. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they will play against Carolina, which brings us to the other playoff matchups brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. All right, so Seattle on the bye, Rams at Carolina. Here are your 2 other. We talked about Green Bay is at Chicago. The one other NFC game that we have not talked about is San Francisco at Philadelphia. As far as the sexiest matchup, is that it?
Yeah, because you got a ton of big names out on that field. You got 2 high-powered offenses that you want to see score a ton of points, but I just think the injuries to that 49ers defense is what's going to do them in. No Fred. I know Fred Warner said he was eyeing the divisional round. No Bosa. It's just you're asking a lot for that defense to stop those names in Philly. You're asking. It's a lot.
You've got Jalen Hurts, you've got Saquon, you've got A.J. Brown, you've got Devontae Smith. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of guys on that side. Dallas Goedert, like they got a bunch of guys that can do some damage there. Let's talk about the NFC here. Carolina, home. Mm-hmm. They'll be underdogs. Philadelphia, San Francisco, it's going to be close. If San Francisco won that game, I don't think anybody would be shocked.
And I will say, by the way, Panthers, all their wins have come as underdogs.
Yep. And then the last one, Chicago at home against Green Bay. If Green Bay goes into Chicago, you could have a situation where we're talking by the end of Monday night where all 3 NFC road teams won their first playoff games. And it's not a crazy ask.
I still can't believe the Panthers are in the playoffs because this was such a bad team. That was just funneling through coaches and quarterbacks.
Bryce Young was done. They had moved on.
They benched him a year ago.
Benched him a year ago, and had decided that they were going to go in a different direction. And now here he is. And by the way, we all watched that Carolina-Tampa game last night. He didn't look any good. I mean, that wasn't any good at all. That I get it. I know they beat the Rams, and you win or you lose. I understand. I am not concerned about playing the Carolina Panthers.
No.
Unless they target Emmanuel Forbes over and over and over and over again.
Wow, you are really confident. You are really confident.
Me?
Yeah.
Against the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah.
Yes, very.
Based on how Week 13 went, you are really
Week
confident.
13
Yeah, I'm feeling the same. I think the Rams are gonna torch the Panthers.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
You're just saying because they played before and they had
this
Matthew
didn't
Stafford
look.
had a
This
bad
wasn't
game.
like the other losses. The Panthers lost.
It was the one that was the ugliest, which makes me feel the best, honestly.
Okay.
Because that's the one I think if you go, they had a bad day. That one you can kind of throw away. The Seattle one was weird, and Seattle's got that defense. You look at the game against Atlanta. They have Raheem Morris there. They have Bijan Robinson, who went off. There's nobody that scares me on the Carolina team.
No, I think. I mean, I've been saying it the whole year. I think the only team that on paper I see and I go, uh-oh, is Philly, because they basically match the Rams' firepower on offense but have the better defense. So that's the only thing that scares me.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Hi, this is Sean McVey of your LA Rams. The Rams play here, KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma Brands radio station.
All right, so Denver is your top seed in the AFC. They're going to get the first round bye. Here are your AFC playoff matchups. Let's start with this one. The potential MVP winning Drake May will host the Los Angeles Chargers in the first round of the playoffs. That's one of those games I have no idea what's going to happen. The Chargers could go in there and look great. They could charge her. They could have a big lead. They always seem to charge her. But I get it. New England's look great, but I don't know. They don't fill me with a team that's like, oh, man, you're going to have to do something crazy to beat them. They feel very beatable.
I feel the same about the Broncos. I think the two best teams in the AFC. Yeah, there's Knicks. I can't trust Knicks as far as his decision-making, and the Broncos have been surviving because their defense is second-best defense in the NFL. The Patriots don't have that. So if Drake May isn't having a Drake May-type day, the Chargers are going to beat the Patriots. And
Unless the Chargers charge her.
Unless the Chargers charge. Unless they do what they did last year and wait until the playoffs and forget that they have a 6'6" quarterback that can sling it all over the place.
In the playoffs, Justin Herbert, he likes to become check down Charlie.
Well,
quite often.
I don't know if you watched last year. He almost got decapitated every single time he dropped it back. So if that's the plan for the Chargers, then, yeah, they're going to charge this entire thing straight to Cancun.
I would be very interested in seeing how that plays out. I think that's the most interesting game of the first. I don't know if it's the best game, but I think it's the most interesting one. Let's move on to the next one. This is your 3 against 6. Jacksonville will be hosting the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen comes in against Trevor.
Jacksonville got screwed.
They got a bad
They got screwed. Oh, how do you get the bill? How do you have your best season in 4 years with a rookie head coach? And guess what? Your reward is Josh Allen.
But your reward also is against a team that can't stop anybody.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, the Bills have
And we know what Josh Allen likes to do in the playoffs. Now, usually it's championship weekend where he goes,
yeah, that's true.
But maybe it's magic.
I need to do it again, don't I? They didn't lose because of Josh Allen choking.
But it doesn't matter.
Yes, of course it does.
It doesn't matter.
You just blamed him. And he's not the reason they lose. The defense is the reason they lose.
Well, guess what?
You could say the Buffalo.
This could be the same issue again.
You could say the Buffalo, that's fair. But when you say that Josh Allen, that's wrong.
Like you can even blame Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott is
blame
more
Sean
viable.
McDermott. That's fine.
I'm buying a Jacksonville jersey for next weekend. Let's go, Jags.
Are you going to go Maurice Jones-Drew, Jacksonville throwback?
Chris, what you need to do.
Oh, that's right. He played football. I always forget.
I knew you'd say something.
Oh, he's a Bruin.
Goodness.
Chris, you need to get a Trevor Lawrence wig.
Oh, God.
That's what you need.
If you had to place a bet on an AFC team, is it Buffalo?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I
don't know who the right answer is, by the way.
Just like I said about Kansas City,
honestly.
You got to show me. Before I believe it, you got to show me. Like I got to see you beat the Bills in the playoffs before I believe the Bills are not a contender.
Is there any chance that the winner of tonight's game the Sunday Night Football game between the Steelers and the Ravens wins a playoff game.
Yes, because they're playing the Houston Texans.
The
That's the last game we haven't talked about. We'll get into that one coming up. Plus, I want to hear the explanation as to why you think Denver is I know they're the number 1 seed. They got the best record, but we're going to walk through that. We are here at Hollywood Park Casino breaking down the playoff weekend, which is going to get here before you know it. 37-20, the final score. The Rams beat the Cardinals. They are headed to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Wild card weekend. We'll get to all of it on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN Only Rams Radio Network.
Big news! Downey Hyundai is the #1 Hyundai dealer in California for 2025. If you're shopping for a new car, there's only one place, Downey Hyundai, and they're driven to earn that title again by making every customer happy. With over 800 new Hyundais in stock, from the all-electric Ioniqs to the best-in-class Tucson or the 3-row seating SUV Palisade, there's no better selection and no better price. Downey Hyundai, Firestone exit off the 605, or shop online anytime at DowneyHyundai.com. Downey Hyundai, California's #1 and working to stay there.
The Morning Show with Sedano and Cap. Unpredictable stories from Cappy that never disappoint.
We get done at the Rams game. We go me, Big Al, Redbird, Freak Daddy Freddie A.
Is Redbird related to Redwood?
No, he's not related.
He looks like he got Redwood, though.
Yeah.
Did you make up these nicknames?
These were just names that happened as college, went on.
What was Alex
Van
Pelt's nickname?
It's Big Al.
Oh, Big Al.
Big Al.
Sorry.
Yeah, Big Al.
Yeah.
So you got Big Al, Redbird,
Freaky Freddie A.
Freak Daddy Freddie A.
Freak Daddy.
Right. And and we drove.
Cappy, you a freak, man.
Thank you so much.
What are you? What was your nickname?
Cap Money. Cap Money. That was my name.
Oh,
Cap Money.
Cap
right.
Money.
Cap
Why?
Money. Cap
You
Money.
gave yourself that one
Probably
for
'cause I was
sure.
broke,
Hang with Sedano and Cap every weekday morning starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA, the all-new ESPN LA app, and streaming live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
What's going on? Hope it's been a beautiful holiday break. It is Chris Morales, and tomorrow we're all back. The Sedano and Cap Morning Show is back at 7 a.m. for LA's only live and local sports morning show. Talking Lakers, Rams football, the playoff picture of the NFL, plus everything else going on in LA sports. Plus, the Rich Eisen show's back at 9 a.m. The Hall of Famers Mason and Ironwood at noon. The DeMarco and Travis afternoon show at 3 p.m. We'll see you all back tomorrow for a new year on LA's mega sports station, ESPN LA.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Time to recap Rams Cardinals Week 18 NFL Sunday from SoFi Stadium.
We react right now on the Rams postgame show live from Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino Park Party and Play.
Now live from Hollywood Park Casino, back to Travis and Sua right now.
There's my song right there. The Rams beat the Cardinals 37-20. Week 18, Rams finished 12-5. The Cardinals finish with a 9-game losing streak, and they dropped 13 of their final 14 games of the season. The Rams are headed to Carolina. We were talking a little bit about that AFC playoff picture. The one game that we did not get into, Houston will play against the winner of tonight's game, Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Pittsburgh or Baltimore will host that game because they'll be a division winner. Houston's won 9 games in a row. I've been saying it all year long. That defense is, we talk about Denver, you talk about Seattle, you talk about some of these other great defenses. That's on the list as well.
It kept the Rams under 20 points, which only happened twice this season.
Who was the other?
In the Ravens game.
The Ravens.
It was a 17-3 game. But the first game of the season against the Texans, it was a 15-9 game. The Rams won that one because that defense is so good.
And once C.J. Stroud got healthier and once he started to play a little better, that's been a very, very good team. They could be, I think you look at these, you talk about the road games. It's the Chargers, Buffalo, and Houston, just like we're talking about the other ones. I don't think there'd be a surprise if any of those teams went in and won. Chris, you think that Denver is the best team on that half of the draw?
So the 3 losses that they've had, the only loss where they lost by more than 1 point was to Jacksonville later in the season. Week 2, they lost by a point to the Colts. Week 3, they lost by 3 points to the Chargers.
They got torched by Jacksonville at home.
They did. But I just think that part of that is the magic, right? Chiefs are not good. Chargers are not the best team there in that division right now. So sometimes you need magic on your side to have that Cinderella season. And I think if you're talking about teams coming out of the AFC, I think they got the Cinderella by themselves.
Does Bo Nix have Cinderella vibes as you look at it?
He does. I don't think we thought that a few years ago.
I don't think I thought it 5 minutes ago.
Okay. I think he's got a little Cinderella in him. That's all.
Or an ugly stepsister.
Plus, they're doing a lot of throwback with the.
I do like the throwback.
The throwback jerseys could be magical in the playoffs if they throw those out.
Bo Nix has pulled a couple of you-know-whats out of his you-know-what, but I have only seen him look really good 2 or 3 times all season long. Now, they're winning a bunch of games, but I don't think they're winning a bunch of games because of him. And at some point, your offense is going to have to make some plays.
Yeah, I'm a Broncos guy. I watch the Broncos very closely.
And what do you think?
I think Bo Nix can't be trusted. I think that he's either on and making all the right decisions, and that's a mixture of the play calling and his decision-making. And then there's games where if the defense doesn't get a stop, they have no chance because Bo can't throw a P in those.
Okay. So let's talk about the quarterbacks in the AFC. Chargers? You trust Justin Herbert's playoff performance thus far in his career?
Keep going.
Patriots?
No. Unproven.
I trust Drake over Bo.
Okay, that's fine. Bills?
Yes.
Again, you know my bit. Something always happens, whether it's the defense or not.
But your question was, let's go through the quarterbacks. They've got the best quarterback in the half of the draw by a mile.
Jaguars?
No.
Texans?
I trust CJ.
Yeah, I don't dislike. I think he's the second best in the group.
And then we'll find out tonight, Steelers-Ravens.
And I trust
neither.
Even though Lamar's playing atrocious.
How does Lamar do in the playoffs usually at some point?
I'm trusting Lamar over Bo in the playoffs.
Here's why I choose Bo, the Cinderella aspect, because we've seen with the Bills and the Ravens, it always happens at some point in the playoffs, and you could say it's not the quarterback's fault. My point being is it happens at some point.
And it's Sean Payton as their head coach.
You know who it's usually happened against, though? Kansas City, and they're not here.
Okay, but I could say the same for Denver. A little magic. You got to believe in magic sometimes, Trav.
I'm going to need a little evidence of
Aren't we believing in magic that the Rams aren't going to play the way they played the last time against the Panthers because it's the playoffs? Aren't we believing in a little magic, homeboy?
I don't think that's magic. I think that's just playing up to your capabilities. That's not magic. Just being as good as you probably should be is not magical. That's just playing better.
Whitney and Mariah once did a song said, "When you believe." And I'm believing in the Bo Nix magic.
Are you believing in the C.J. Stroud magic?
I believe in that defense.
Yeah.
I believe in that defense.
Bulls on parade, as somebody once said.
All CJ has to do is throw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that defense can get the job done. Spot them 17 points, and that's all you need with that defense.
Who do you think wins tonight between Baltimore? The game is in Pittsburgh, correct?
The Ravens.
Yeah.
The Steelers have absolutely no business being in playoff contention, but neither do the Ravens. So
all they had to do was beat the Browns last
How
weekend.
great would it be if the story is, again, Lamar, something happens, another season down the drain, and Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers eliminate you on literally the last game of the season?
This could be Aaron Rodgers' last game.
I don't like Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers, and I was a big Aaron Rodgers fan.
This could be Aaron Rodgers' last game.
Or
he comes up, I don't like him. I'm on record of not liking him, but he does come up in big games. TJ Watt is back. He will be playing tonight. And I think the biggest issue is that DK Metcalf got that 2-game suspension and 2 very important games for them. And if he didn't get that suspension, I think they would be more of a live wire to
The Pittsburgh Steelers should be eliminated from playoff contention off of the failed hit attempt on their own player with T.J. Watt with that medical procedure on his lung. How do you mess up a procedure so bad that his lung collapses?
Taylor.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Neither team deserves to be in because they both didn't earn it. But they will literally if they win.
Well, here's the thing with both of those teams tonight, as I see it. Sometimes you'll have a team that is not performing up to capabilities, and you're like, they're missing this guy or they're missing that guy, or if this clicks into place, everything will be good. They can lean on one side of the ball, and both those teams are bad.
Yeah,
like they're both not very good teams, and I know Lamar's been dealing with some stuff. Lamar's had an awful year.
Oh yeah, he's been bad,
But I will say the Steelers and the Texans feel to me like the best matchup for the Steelers to get because they can win low-scoring games. They can win that, Steeler football, under 20 points game,
that defense ain't
play
the
it
same,
rough,
bro.
And it'll be in Pittsburgh. It won't be in Houston.
All right, so Sean McVey picked up his 100th win of his career today, including the regular season and the postseason. Just to kind of put that in perspective, this is his 9th year in the league, and he's picked up 100 wins. That is an incredible rate, and that's why he's already probably a made guy in this league to a degree that only a handful of other guys are, right? You're looking at Andy Reid, Sean Payton. Like, there's just not a lot of guys that have a resume like Sean McVey does. He spoke with JB and Maurice Jones-Drew after the game.
Back at SoFi Stadium, where Sean McVey and the Rams rally with 3 closing touchdowns for a 37-20 victory. With it, the 5 seed off to Carolina to begin the playoffs next. Sean, what'd you make of today's home finale and victory?
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I love the most about that game. We go down 3. Something that we've talked about is being at our best in the tightest moments, and we end up getting stop after stop. We go on 3 straight touchdown drives. Next thing you know, we look up, we're up 17 points. That's the kind of that it's going to take in the playoffs.
Yeah, Coach, we were just talking about that in the post game. It felt like the second half of the third quarter going into the fourth, that is the team that we've seen.
That's right, and I think that's why we played today. I thought it was awesome that we faced some adversity where we had to be able to figure out, all right, let's dig deep, let's find a way to play complementary ball, and when we do that, it's a pretty damn good movie, and we got to figure out how to do that once we start next week. What a freaking great op we got. Let's go.
All right, we saw Matthew Stafford's closing statement. What would you like to say about your quarterback's 2025
He's
season?
our MVP. Nobody better than him. Wouldn't want anybody else to lead us, and here we freaking go now.
We will congratulate you as well on your 100th victory as head coach of the Rams. Here's to your next 100, Sean.
I appreciate you guys.
All right, that's Sean McVay after the 37-20 win against the Cardinals. Follow me on this. Not saying I buy this.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying I buy this.
Go ahead.
Could this, let's call it a lull that they hit over the last 2.5 games that they seem to kind of start to come out of towards the end of today's game, could that be exactly what they needed heading into the playoffs? That get a look at your mortality in the face before you go and start playing the toughest games of the year.
No. You wanna be playing your best ball at the end of the year, because football players, we kind of obsess over things, and when you're playing bad, when you're praised as a superhero, this guy who does everything right, and you're patted on the back for doing a good job, when you do a bad job, that's all you can remember. You can do a million good things in a game. If you had one bad play, that's all you're thinking about when the film comes up. You're not thinking about the tackle for loss, the sack, the interception. You're thinking of how I messed up on this play. So when you get into the playoffs and your last 3 weeks of work has been, you let that game get away. You struggled with a terrible Cardinals team. Hey, you gave the first seed away to the Seahawks, who you're going to have to go through. The Super Bowl runs through them now because of you. That hangs in your head, and that's the last thing you want to be thinking about when you're supposed to be putting your best foot forward on a winner-takes-all stage that you have next week. So, no, you need to be playing your best ball towards the end of the year, not your worst.
Told you I didn't buy it. That's why I set it up like that. I knew that I didn't even believe what I was saying. I'm trying. I'm trying to get it done.
By the way, real quick, we are streamed live on YouTube for those that like to watch at ESPN Los Angeles, our flagship here in L.A. Shout out to Ron Mexico's RPO. He's one of our fans there in the chat, who gave me a shout-out for receiving my 1-year chip for sobriety. So I wanted to say thank you for that, Ron.
Oh, congrats.
Well-deserved, well-earned. I know that me and everybody that loves you is very proud of you and happy that you've made it a year. Here's to many, many more along the way. We're going to hear from Matthew Stafford coming up in a little bit. We will talk about that Carolina game as well. Rams in Carolina Wild Card Weekend next weekend. It's all coming up on the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN Only Rams Radio Network.
Change is in the air at LAX. Los Angeles International Airport's automated people mover trains are rolling soon as part of LAX's ongoing investments in improving your travel journey. The new trains will quickly move guests between all terminals. The new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, and economy parking in 10 minutes or less. Departing every 2 minutes, they'll help approximately 30 million passengers per year. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN. That's lawa.org/ESPN.
Let's see here. Good times for mac and cheese. Slip a Wahlburger in there. Cielo for a steak and some vino. Gotta grab a boba from Mosin. Pink coffee for dessert. Yep, that settles it. Can't start my diet until 2027. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo. You want to. The holidays are over. Now it's time to have fun. Get in the car. Head to Morongo. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times.
Los Angeles, your Rams have clinched a playoff spot. And if you missed out on any action this season, don't make the same mistake. Clinch your spot in the Rams' house for the 2026 campaign. Watch every home game next year with marquee matchups against the Chiefs, Cowboys, Niners, Giants, and more. And in addition, enjoy home playoff ticket access for this season, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event pre-sale access. Visit therams.com/2026. That is therams.com/2026. And don't miss out on any of next year's action. Get your Rams season tickets today.
Some things are better live. That's why at Unified Financial Credit Union, we staff our call center with live Unified team members. So instead of this...
Sorry, there's no one available to take your call.
You get this.
This is John from Unify. How are you today?
So whether you need to move money, open a credit card, or take out an auto loan, you can connect live with a Unified team member in any state, 7 days a week. Unified Financial Credit Union. Connect your way. Now the official credit union of the Los Angeles Rams. Unify is an equal opportunity lender insured by NCUA.
Hey Rams fans, we've teamed up with Bloom Ranch to ensure we have the healthiest fans in the league. That's why we're committed to delivering some of the freshest fruits and veggies to your door. And here's the best part. The first 100 boxes are on us. That's right. We're giving away the first 100 boxes. After that, enjoy 30% off on your first box upon signing up at www.bloomranchofacton.com and enter promo code ThankYouRams. There are no fans like Rams fans. Winning and getting healthier together is the real flex. So hurry, this offer won't last forever. Follow Bloom Ranch on IG and share how you're getting healthier using #BloomRamFit.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick TickPick. You're picking the official fan experience partner of the Los Angeles Rams with no hidden fees ever. So pick TickPick for your chance to enjoy an all-exclusive experience at the TRD Pro Club at SoFi Stadium every game. A chance to experience the national anthem on the field, or the opportunity to spend time with friends and family on the field pregame or postgame. Don't let fees get between you and a great game day. Download the TickPick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Los Angeles Rams this year.
Hi, this is Devontae Adams of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Recapping everything that went down this afternoon from the Palace in Inglewood. Week 18 and the regular season is a final.
And live today from Hollywood Park Casino, Park Party and Play. We react right now with Travis and Sue of the Rams postgame show. Your reaction at 877-710-ESPN.
You're listening to the Rams postgame show.
This is the Rams postgame show. Now live from Hollywood Park Casino. Back to Travis and Sua right now.
Rams finish up the 2025 season with a 12-5 record, second place in the NFC West after a 37-20 win against the Cardinals. They will make their way to Charlotte, North Carolina, to take on the Panthers on either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. We will know by the end of the night tonight which of those games they have, but they will have at quarterback Matthew Stafford, who is our player of the game, driven by your Southern California Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy. Stafford, 259 yards, 4 touchdowns today, and we'll find out when he wins the MVP. The votes have to be in. It's a regular season award. It doesn't have anything to do with the postseason. We could argue whether or not it should, but at least he put himself right back into on even footing with May after kind of having a clunker on Monday night earlier in the week.
Yeah, I know they say that it doesn't matter, but I think some of these guys may cast their vote with the estimation of how they think these teams will play in the playoffs.
They're going to get a lot of guys back going into Carolina. You're going to get Devontae Adams back. You hopefully get Kevin Dotson back. You hopefully get Quentin Lake back in that game. And those are not just starters. Those are incredibly important pieces to what you're getting done.
You need Lake back no matter what. I think Devontae and Lake are the most important two pieces, for sure.
Lake or Adams.
Lake and Devontae. Yeah, if you're going on a Super Bowl run, you need both back.
But 100%. But if you had to pick one or the other, I would have to pick Quentin because the defense – to me, feels more vulnerable. The offense they're still scoring 30 points a game. They're still able to move the ball. They're still able. Puka Nacua had another monster day today again. 10 catches, another 76 yards, another touchdown. And every time that they got to have something, Puka's the guy they go to.
Puka's a beast, man. And you can just throw him the ball, and it doesn't matter if he's open or not. He's got a chance, and if he doesn't catch it, it's going to at least attract the PI call at this point.
And someone we didn't hear from today, Dave Sallin. And he's been someone that's been a vital part of the offense. Those 3 tight ends, Davis Allen, Terrence Ferguson, and Colby Parkinson, have all been very much involved. So I think also getting them involved would be great.
And Higbee had a big game today, too. Higbee had 5 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. The Rams tight ends had 3 TDs. Colby Parkinson had 2 along the way. We've seen Terrence Ferguson get more and more involved. We'll see whether or not he's able to go physically or not, but you talk about playing your best ball at the most important time of the season. Being healthy at the most important and getting those guys back you're just getting any of your guys back. But a Devontae Adams and a K-Dot, those guys are all pro-level players.
And it's huge getting Higbee back because we saw Davis Allen drop that pass. That would have been a touchdown. And then it seemed like that revamped Higbee to come back in and go 5-6 catches, get a touchdown. So it's nice when you can that tight end's not in it today. Okay, well, let's go back. Oh, we got 3 more. And they're all pass catching. They all can block. And I think Higbee's going to have a big postseason.
He had a big game today. Big part because Matthew Stafford likes to throw it to his guys. Let's take a listen to him walking off the field with Fox.
Matthew, what a day for this Rams team. But you yourself had 4 touchdowns. The MVP chants were raining down here in SoFi. What's been the magic for you, not just today, but also this whole season with your offense?
I just got a bunch of great players that I'm getting, lucky to play with. It wasn't perfect today. Had some missed opportunities. Didn't start the second half the way we wanted to. Got down in the game, and then we're just able to rely on my teammates, try to go out there and play quarterback as best I can, and putting up 37 against these guys and getting a win to end the regular season was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a rematch for the first round of the playoffs, this one against Carolina. Tell me what it looks like when you face them once again.
Yeah, they're a really talented team. On the defensive side of the ball, they got 2 really good corners, some good back end. The guys up front are playing really well. They're obviously playing well enough to be in the dance, man. So we got our work cut out for us. We obviously didn't play well enough last time we went down there. So we'll look at the tape, find ways to be better, go out there and compete. It's what you love. You love the opportunity to continue to play in the postseason, and this group won't take anything for granted.
I have no doubt about that. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Matthew.
All right, so that's Matthew Stafford talking about going into Carolina. That is the next time that Sue and I will be together, a couple hours before kickoff, depending on when that game starts. We'll have the Toyota Rams countdown to kickoff for you right there. Wild card weekend in Charlotte against the Carolina Panthers, a rematch, a game that the Rams lost earlier this season that kind of started their little lull along the way. Rams win 37-20. This has been the Rams postgame show on the ESPN Only Rams Radio Network.
Thank you for listening to Rams Lions today from the Palace in Inglewood.
Up next, it's the playoffs. The wild card weekend is up ahead.
Rams football is presented by Call Jacob. A lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob and he will win for you.
And of course, Jacob Emrati. Call Jacob has a brand new photo.